My thoughts drift slower here. Names don't matter, only feeling. You were just a shape, light behind your face. I didn't need to understand. The ocean speaks in pulses and I listen. There's a rhythm in the stillness. It doesn't ask for more. It just is, and I stare. I float.
Gotta see all they see racing a part of me. Sim racing my law degree. Start to finish, give all to me. All they see racing, they gotta see. All they see racing a part of me. Sim racing my law degree. Start to finish, give all to me. All they see ORL. 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 VSR all day, VSR my way. Real ones only get it. Say less, we straight. 59, never back down. If you didn't know, just ask around. Pull the draft on the front stretch. Turn one, they tap it down. Force the gap with all contact. Feel the adrenaline off that. Under pressure from front to back. Another cup, one and keep it on track. You wanted more, I'm calling cap. Elvis up, come get it back. 50 drivers in the server. Hope you're ready for combat. All they see racing, they gotta see. All they see racing the part of me. Sim racing my law degree. Start to finish, give all to me. All they see racing, they gotta see. All they see racing the part of me. Sim racing my law degree. Start to finish, give all to me. All they see ORL. All they see.
Hello racing fans, good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Christian Julian, and on behalf of Odyssey Racing League, welcome to Season 20, Round 5 of GT Americas. Tonight we have a 1-hour feature event for you. This is going to be 60 minutes of non-stop action here at Mount Panorama, also known as Bathurst, depending on how you would like to call it. Located in New South Wales, Australia, 3.86 miles or 6.21 kilometers. It is a mountain, so it is arguably one of the toughest tracks here on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and our drivers tonight are going to have to deal with all of those twists and turns and elevation changes, all 862 meters above sea level of elevation change. But we decided to add a little bit of a monkey wrench into the mix, and we've added a little bit of rain. So it is also raining here at Mad Panorama. And the rookies are out qualifying right now. Speaking of rookies, we are on board with Aronique Stapleton, the driver from St. Kitts and Nevis. P3 in the championship standings overall, 82 points total. The driver in front of him would be Sebastian Quesada, who is P2 overall. That's 84 points total in the championship. Sebastian, I do see him, however, he is in the pits, and that is due to him having to suffer. Well, I mean, he might be suffering. I mean, I don't think he's going to suffer actually with the wet Bathurst, but serve a qualifying ban due to a car change. But your rookie leader would actually be Landon Wall. Mr. Wall, I don't see him on the track, so it does not look like he will be defending his title tonight. I might take this as a drop round. He was heating up as well. Landon Wall had 2 wins in a row. This would have been technically his third win if he was to get a win tonight. However, it's going to be between Sebastian and Aronique for the win here. Between those two for the new championship lead for the rookie standings. And it's going to be very interesting. Speaking of that, Aronique was at the top. However, I spoke too soon as Brandon Ash in the number 69 AMG now in the lead. 210.300 for them. Ryan Chanley in the number 67 Ford Mustang taking P2 with a 210.945. And Aronique Stapleton, who is on our screen right now, in the number 35 McLaren P3 with the 211.277 provisionally. These are all provisional times for these drivers, as that was probably only one qualifying, if at all. So tires are not going to be warm. Brakes are going to be cold as heck. And times are going to be a lot slower just due to the rain and weather differences. Normally here on a track, you would try to aim for as close to 2 minutes as possible, from my understanding. That's a really fast time here at Mount Panorama. However, the world record in real-life GT3s is actually held by the McLaren 650S with a 2 minutes, 1 second, .567. This is real life, by the way. And in unrestricted GT3 category was an Audi R8 LMS with a 159.291. So times in real life and times in ACC are not that much different. The closer we get to 2 minutes, the better it is for the drivers. However, with the rain, I do expect there to be an extra, like anywhere between 7, like, let's be realistic. Okay, so about 10 seconds more. So if you see really quick drivers at 10 seconds more, that's really what you want. That might be a little too much. Who knows? I'm just here in the booth and it's really nice and warm and I don't have to deal with the rain. Hopefully the drivers brought their wetsuits, because it is going to be a rainy one. Aronique Stapleton crossing the line, not able to make it ahead. Ryan Chanley making his name known as well in the number 67 Ford Mustang, was able to take P1. However, Brandon Ash fighting back and taking it again. Purple Delta for Mr. Ash in the number 69 AMG. So that's going to put him relatively in a safe spot there, 209.982. I may be off with my times here as I look at the times of these drivers. Either that, or I'm just highly underestimating the drivers here. But what do I know? I'm just here in my booth. Speaking of in the booth, really quick, just to go a really quick intermission. You are watching Odyssey Racing League GT Americas, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do have pros, AMs, and rookies all on the track at the same time, racing and battling it out for the championship and the Season 20 crown. We are at round 5, Bathurst. We did skip round 4, as round 4 was during the Thanksgiving holiday break for us here in the Americas. So round 4 will be moved to after round 6. So round 4, we are at Bathurst here. Round 6 will be next week at Brands Hatch, all the way in the UK. And then from there, we're going to take a quick trip back to Italy to finish off the season at Misano. Watching the number 69 exit the mountain out of Forest Elbow and down through the back straight, known as the Conrad Straight. Just another quick fact about Mount P, but when this track was originally created and concepted, there was no kink here on the back straight, so it was a straight it was a straight shot all the way from the bottom of the mountain all the way down into Murray's Corner there. So easily you would get up to like 300 kilometers an hour. Like no shot if that was. There's no way you couldn't get that if you were on a unrestricted car with that track layout right now. But it does look like the rookies are almost done as the timer starts ticking down. I do see the number 234 still at the end of the back straight, coming into the chase out of the exit of 22. Now coming into Murray's corner, corner 23, Jade Russell in the number 234 Ferrari. Little bit of dirt and damage on the front and back end there, so they may be having to limp across the line. P5 for the number 234 Ferrari. However, this is only qualifying. The race is not over yet. Yep, taking a little bit of a corner of a break there in Hell's Corner, turn 1. As it does look like Jade Russell will have enough time to potentially finish another lap. They did go off track here, so I'm going to 100% consider that broadcaster's curse or commentator's curse. So go ahead and Jade, send me a message. And you can totally blame me for that. Keeping an eye on the number 69 Brandon Ash through the heart of the mountain right now, actually going through past the skyline, now through the dipper into Forest Elbow he goes, or he's still through the dipper actually, now down into Forest Elbow. I think it's called Bentley Corner in some places, or Bentley, it's like Bentley something, or something Bentley, because you can see all those Bentley signs. All right, I'm gonna stop. Because we have an AMG Mercedes on our screen, and now through the Conrad Straight. Oh, that's not the camera angle we were looking for, camera person. Come on. All right, there it is. Nice. Now through the chase. Brandon Ash trying to rein in the three-pointed star here on our screen. Through the last turn. Will he be able to cement the lead? I think they will. That might slow him down a little bit. And that is going to put Brandon Ash in a provisional pole, 2:09.975. It doesn't look like they were able to complete that lap with a better time. As we do move over now to the rookies and the AMs. Actually, that is the wrong camera angle. I do apologize. As the program has now changed as well. So we're going to be watching Jade Russell complete their lap. The number 82 and the number 12 and the number 331 as well. Now out on the track, it looks like Jade Russell has elected to cut short. I mean, not cut short. They were literally basically at the end, but cut their qualifying. And they nipped it in the bud, and they decided to return to garage. So now it is the pros and the AMs now out on the track, as they try to warm up their tires, warm up the brakes, because it is going to be a doozy to try to squeeze out as much time as you can from your machine here on the track. The wet conditions are going to keep tire temperatures low and tire degradation low, but it's going to be affecting your pressures, and it's going to be affecting your brakes, because there is a possibility of your brakes not heating up enough. So it's just little different things that drivers are going to have to think about now that they are in the rain. And it's going to be very interesting and exciting, I think, to watch how they are able to adapt. Andy's warming in the chat. Bathurst with rain. Are y'all crazy? Yes. Yes, we are. Mr. Ghost in the chat. You're always to blame when it comes to crashes. Yeah, I mean, I'll take the blame. Commentator's curse is strong. I mean, you've been a part of it. You know. I'll do it we've done it in Discord. You and I have been in a Discord call together, and I'll just commentate you while you're racing there, and you end up spinning out. Moving over to the number 727 Porsche. It's Darth Chemo himself. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. I do apologize. So, Darth Chemo here on our screen in the blue and black Porsche, trying to heat up them tires and brakes, is actually holding on to a hat trick. The number 727, 3 wins in a row. So congratulations to Kemmel there behind the wheel. However, can this continue? Will this continue? We are going to be keeping an eye, as there is the potential for Kyle White or Drew Jensen Actually, Daniel Fernandez as well, because there is a tie for third. Kyle White in P2 overall for the championship, 88 points total. Drew Jensen and Daniel Fernandez, 72 points twinned together. So the winner or the better placement of those two drivers will come out as the winner of that third podium spot. However, there is such a close fight for the championship. There is a pretty close fight for the championship, actually, for the amateurs, the silver drivers here. 100 points total for Darth Kemmel on our screen. So Darth Kemmel only needs one bad race, one really bad race, and all Kyle has to do, Kyle White or Drew Jensen has to do, is to stay consistent, and there is a possibility of one of them being able to take the championship at the end. However, Kimo is holding on to the hat trick hat, so congratulations to you, Kimo. Times are now populating the board for the pros and the AMs. Straight to the top, Andrew Rados in the number 82 Porsche. Right behind him, Alex Cruz in the number 12 AMG. Robert Rochta taking up the third spot in the 331 BMW. However, there is a possibility of those spots starting to be traded like trading cards between all of the top 3 or 4 drivers, as Kyle White as well moving into the lead for the silver drivers to the number 251 Aston Martin, with a great time there. For the pro drivers, we are on board with Andrew Rados, who is sitting in potential or provisional pole position. 90 points total for the championship after 3 rounds. Tied for P2, actually, with Chandler Williams. Chandler Williams, I do not see on the track unless my eyes deceive me. Yes, I do not see Mr. Williams on the track, so it is going to look like Andrew Rados is going to be in P2. However, Thiago Dinarte, your championship leader for the pro category, also not on the track as well. So that is going to be a new championship leader if Andrew Rados has a great race. But waiting in the wings, P4 provisionally, is Leila Martinez. Leila Martinez, 80 points total. Has not got a win yet. All 3 of them, Thiago Dinarte, Chandler Williams, and Andrew Rados, all 3 wins. All 3 have a win. So trading wins between these last 3 rounds. Leila Martinez waiting in the wings, waiting for their opportunity to potentially get a win, to throw their hat in the race for the championship. And it's going to be a very interesting one. I do think so myself. That is an amazing livery. I just noticed the livery. Are those glizzies in the back? Is that a glizzy Porsche? What is that? I need to see. Or is that shrimp? If it's either shrimp or glizzies, it doesn't matter. That's funny to me. Couple of more times also populating the board. Drew Jensen in the number 19 Ford Mustang, P8 overall. Kyle White in the number 251 Aston Martin P4. Alex Donaldson in the number 24 Aston Martin P5. It's Agüero, excuse me. Agüero Martinez in the number 15 BMW P10 for the silvers. Wei-Shin Wang in the number 99 P12. Couple of other drivers being peppered in there as well. Listening to the sound of the V8, of the Ford V8 here in ACC will never get old to me. Such a great car, such a great sound. Arguably a little overpowered when it first came out in ACC. The Ford Mustang GT3, a 5.2 or 5.3 liter V8, Coyote V8. It's not as big as like a 6 liter, but it is a great powerful engine. I believe it is also naturally aspirated, so no turbo or supercharged tomfoolery here. It's just beautiful, naturally aspirated American muscle. Driven by the Canadian driver, Drew Jensen. Okay, so I may or may not have lied. I got a little excited and I said the Canadian driver, but Drew Jensen, it does show that he is American. I may have been thinking about Andrew Rados, who's in the lead. The number 82 Porsche is being driven by somebody using the Canadian flag, so I'm going to assume he's Canadian. Drew Jensen moving up into P7 now, the number 19 Ford Mustang. Fast total time for them, 209.902. Andrew Rados in the lead, 206.147. I don't think I was saying the times here for you time attack enthusiasts. But we are about 1 minute and 30 seconds left in qualifying in the wet rain episode of season 20 of Odyssey Racing League GT Americas. This would be the equivalent of the beach episode. We are on the beach. The beautiful, wet Australian outback. Going up the mountain now, Drew Jensen is trying to improve his time. It looks like Andrew Rados is going to be improving his time, potentially going across the line. Coming down Conrad Strait. And as soon as I started talking about him, unfortunately, the delta does not show. Actually does. Ooh, it's going to be very close. With 30 seconds left in qualifying, this will allow Andrew Rados another flying lap as he does cross the line. 206.120 is still their fastest time. It says he got it again, so consistency is the name of the game here in motorsports, and apparently Andrew Rados does have it, does have the consistency to get the same time twice. That is incredible. Alex Cruz in the number 12 AMG moving up into P2. Robert Brocht in the number 331 BMW P3. Bonus Charles sneaking in the number 26 BMW P4 overall. So we do have in the top 10 2 BMWs, a couple Porsches, some Aston Martins, 2 AMGs, 2 Mustangs, and that's it. Yeah. There's no loners. There's no. Okay, I can't see the word. I was about to say a word. No, that's it. Everyone has a pair in the top 10. That is very interesting to see. Is there some kind of collusion or like teammate happenings going on? What is this? What is this? We are in overtime. As we can see, we have the 4 zeros at the top of the timer, which means the official qualifying time is over. We are in overtime. Alex Donaldson going through Conrad Strait, trying to improve their time and trying to push in the number 24 Aston Martin further up in the standings. We do also have the number 15 that is coming down the mountain right now. They are going through the Dipper and into Forest Elbow. That is Agüero Martinez in the number 15 BMW. It does show that he is finished, so that may be a completed lap. And that is it for qualifying, actually, officially. Andrew Rados, your provisional pole leader. Alex Cruz in P2. Kyle White, P3. We're going to go to a quick intermission. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with the starting grid walk. Here we are, racing fans. The starting grid walk for Season 20, Round 5 of Odyssey Racing League's GT Americas. My name is Christian Julian. I also go by Koju, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the grid walk in P1 in the number 82 Porsche, Andrew Rados. In P2, the number 12 Mercedes AMG, driven by Alex Cruz. P3 goes to Kyle White in the Fat Aston Racing 251, to be exact. Just missing the podium in the number 331 BMW, Rob Rochta. P4 for Rob. P5, Alex Donaldson in the number 24 Aston Martin for Backfire Racing. P6 goes to Bonus Charles, the number 26 BMW for Mama Africa M Sport. P7, it's Darth Kimo himself, the number 727 Porsche. P8, Drew Jensen, the number 19 Ford Mustang. P9, Brandon Ash, and the number 69 Mercedes AMG. Rounding off your top 10, Ryan Chanley in the number 67 Ford Mustang for C7 Racing. P11, Adonique Stapleton in the number 35 McLaren. P12, Agüero Martinez for Moonblack Racing Team. P13, Weishen Wong, the number 99 AMG. P14 goes to Phil Dixon, the number 85 white and blue Porsche. P15 goes to Alan Romero for Herberth Motorsport. P16, Jade Russell in the number 234 Ferrari. Leila Martinez, Baby Shark herself in the number 924 Aston Martin. Starting P17, so it's going to be a rough one potentially for Leila Martinez. However, if any of the past races goes to show her skill level, she has more than enough skill to make it to the podium. P18 goes to Ryan Bishop in the number 78 Ferrari. P19, Michael Moletta in the number 72 Aston Martin for Baller Squad Racing. Another driver that I know has the potential to make it into a podium spot. Red de Guzman starting from the pit lane in P20. Osvaldo Camacho joining him as well in the pit lane party, which will put Robert Logan in P20 in the number 83 Ford Mustang. In 21, technically, we'll have Sebastian Quesada in the number 21 Ferrari. Bobby Evans in the number 120 Ferrari, P22, technically. And then we do have also Shane Sullivan in the number 617 BMW starting from the pit lane as well. So joining us in the pit lane party, we do have a couple of cars that will be there starting from the pit lane. May not be a bad idea. May not be a good idea either, depending on how good of a start or how bad of a start Hell's Corner, or how bad or good Hell's Corner is going to be to the drivers tonight. It is going to be very slippery as well. Hopefully you can see it as well as we can, but it is raining here on the beautiful Mount Panorama. So normally this will be changing the racing line. Drivers are going to have to take a little bit of a different line through the twists and turns here, as well as not be able to brake as much or as deep as they potentially feel like they could. So driving is going to be a tiny bit different. Warm-up times for the tires, the brakes, and potentially brains is going to be a lot longer for tonight, as the cars are going through the formation lap, going through turn 18 and 19, also known as 4 Selbo. We're going to be going through the Hangar Straight or Conrad Straight. I like to call it Conrad Straight because it's nicer. Now, Mount Panorama is an FIA Grade 3 track, so not a lot of F1 races do happen, but there is a lot of supercar motorsport races. So if you've ever heard of the Bathurst 100 or 1000 or the Bathurst 500, it does take place here, as well as the Intercontinental GT Challenge, which is the Bathurst 12-hour that does happen here at Mount Panorama in GT3 Machineries. It looks like all the drivers have their water shoes on. They've completely filled up their arm floaties, and they are ready to go as they get side by side going under the Liquid Moly banner. And we all know what time it is. We do not need to check our watches because we know it is motorsport racing time as the drivers line up side by side going through Murray's Corner. All we need to do is wait for the green flag and the party will start. Keeping an eye on the cars as they go side by side under the Liquid Moly. Start, finish straight, and that is the green flag dropping, and the Fiesta starts. A great start by Andrew Rados cutting off Alex Cruz. A big bump in the middle between two cars. I think that was, looks like the Aston Martin and Robert Brochta getting into a little bit of a tussle there, but going almost 2-3 wide in the back as we now come through the first straight of Mountain Straight, as the cars are going to be trying to gain as much speed as they can, racing and battling to the first, or technically second turn, known as Griffin's Bend. Side by side, Ryan Bishop and not Michael Moletta, no, that's Ryan Bishop and Sebastian Calzada going side by side, but moving up a little bit. We can see drivers are now starting to single file. Technically, no, not really, as they keep fighting, even though it's raining and there's no grip on the outsides. Adonique Stapleton is not allowing anyone to get past him. He's going to be fighting for every inch as we can. We have some door scrapper, as we have a car blinking and blanking. I have no idea what that was. I think that was an AMG that was blinking in, but we did see another car scrape the side and get a little bit of a nose of a side scrape, as we do see cars now fighting to gain control and warm up the tires. Adonique Stapleton defending against Bonus Charles right behind him in the BMW. Now coming through Reed Park. That's not Reed Park, that's Fog Hollow, and now Solman Park, as the cars almost get side by side potentially, but Bonus Charles trying to make a move through Skyline, doesn't see anything happen. A couple of moves being potentially made in the back, as we do see Alan Romero was in the fight there with Michael Moletta and Leila Martinez, but it looks like a little bit of a slowdown by that Porsche. I can't see who that Porsche is actually, as it does look like Wei Shin Wong is unfortunately into the wall barrier there, so that's going to be creating a yellow cautionary section, or a yellow caution, or what's that called? A section yellow? I don't know what the correct wording would that be. But we do have a fight now still in the front. Andrew Rados able to get or allow all that confusion behind him to happen and give himself the breathing room that he needed to get in first place. So that does leave Alex Cruz in P2, Darth Kemmel P3, Kyle White P4, but maybe not for long. Alex Donaldson trying to apply the pressure to his Aston Martin teammate in P5. Robert Borchster P6. Brandon Ash P7, Drew Jensen P8, Aguero Martinez P9, Ryan Shanley for your top 10 overall cars. It doesn't look like there's much of a huge difference for the top. I do sit corrected though, because Darth Kemmel did go up 4 spots. Brandon Ash 2, Aguero Martinez 3, as there was a tussle and a lot of elbows being thrown out there going up the mountain. Everyone trying to fight for position early and aggressively by the looks of it. Not aggressive enough to where penalties were handed out by the looks of it, as all of the penalties right now on our screen, I believe, are success penalties. But only time will tell if penalties will continue to pop up or not. Just looking back and thinking about it a little bit, a great starting move by your race leader Andrew Rados to cut off the number 12 AMG, who had a better run along the outside there, as there is usually a big giant puddle along the inside of turn 1, so you want to try to get as not too far to the outside as well. You want to try to get to the middle, but a great defensive move there, which made the rest of the cars behind them get a little squirrely, and potentially a move being made into the braking zone, which caused that tussle between Robert Rochta and I believe it was Alex Donaldson or the other Aston Martin, where there was a little tussle, because it did look like an Aston Martin BMW dog pile, if I do say so myself. Looks like Bonus Charles having to give up the position, so go ahead position for Adonique Stapleton moving up into P11, however, now having to defend with Bonus Charles breathing down the back of his neck And Adonique having to look forward to Ryan Chinley, the Ford Mustang in front of him, giving a slipstream both the cars in front. Hopefully Bonus Charles is able to capitalize on that to catch up. But we will see. We have a car leaving the pits that is Red de Guzman. That is the number 6 Honda, yeah, so he's trying to give space. There is a blue flag, so he's going to have to give space to the lapped cars behind him as we have a battle on our screen between Kyle White and Darth Chemo in the number 727 Porsche there. There's another battle happening behind as we do see the Aston Martin of Alex Donaldson eating some of the wall there on the side, but he's able to regain control and composure and keep the car off the wall for too long. That is going to be slowing him down. It's going to be allowing Robert Rochta in the BMW front-engine car, so a little bit better in the rain as well. As the Aston Martin is pretty good in the rain, but once you start damaging the front end and the aero, it's going to be affecting you a lot. Speaking of damaging the aero, Robert Rochta able to get a very, very nice move, apply the pressure to Alex Donaldson, who probably felt it, ends up hitting the wall, slows him down, and Robert Rochta with the go-ahead move into P4. Yeah, grip level here and consistency is going to be key to keep your position and hold on to those championship points for as long as you can. A little bit of front-end damage for the number 26 BMW there on our screen. However, Adonique Stapleton in the number 35 trying to catch up to Layla Martinez and Ryan Chinley there. There's a big smorgasbord of cars coming out of Forest Elbow as we now go down Conrad Straight. All these cars fighting for position. The only car not fighting for position is the car on our right. That is a Honda driven by Red de Guzman. He is blue flag, so that does mean he's going to have to give way. But through one of the fastest turns in. Oh, and an unfortunate. Oh, is there contact? Oh, wow. So no contact first being made. Adonique Stapleton, unfortunately, tried to correct. Tried to get past Red de Guzman in the number 8 Honda. Excuse me, in the number 6 Honda. However, Red trying to get off the line. Adonique Stapleton misjudging which way the car was going, then trying to avoid an incident. Adonique jerks the wheel to the opposite side, goes off the track, does not have control, and barely avoids hitting Layla Martinez up in front. Wow. I don't think TV could have wrote it better than that. What a F1 movie style-esque move. Wow. Oh, did anyone else see that, or are my eyes playing tricks on me? It did look like a car going into the wall. I don't see anything on my screen, though, for any incident. Sebastian. Oh, there it is. Yes. So we do have an Aston Martin. That is Michael Moletta going off track. That's the number 24 as well. Alex Donaldson given a yellow flag. So unfortunately, the mountain is starting to take names and cash checks. Hopefully not. It's not going to be too detrimental to the race as we see. Oh, that is extensive damage to the front end of that Aston Martin. So that is going to be affecting acceleration and top speed and maybe grip, depending on, because it looks like they're having not a great time. Yeah, he's not having a good time driving down the straight here, as it looks like the car is struggling to keep itself straight. So it looks like there is some underneath or some internal damage under the hood and under the fenders of that Aston Martin. So that does allow Sebastian the go-ahead position, and oh, that's a wipeout. I wish I had a button that would just go whoa, 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 wipe out, wipe out, wipe out, but I don't have one, so I just did it there. I just did it myself. Leila Martinez on the back bumper of Agüero Martinez. Going through the front straight now. This is called the Mountain Straight as they battle to get to turn 2. Leila Martinez trying to get as much of the slipstream as she can, going side by side with the BMW. The BMW braking a little bit early. Agüero Martinez conceding the position as Leila Martinez had the inside line and a much better run than the number 924, moving up into P8 as they now have to defend against number 15 BMW. Technically, they don't have to, as they are different in different championships, as Leila Martinez is categorized as a pro driver and Agüero Martinez categorized as a silver or an amateur driver. But Leila Martinez trying to leave it all on the track, trying to gain as many points as they can, because that will help them in the championship run, because as we were discussing earlier, the championship leader for the pros as of round 3 and the second person tied for P2 are not present tonight. So it is gonna be Andrew Rados as of right now, because he's in the lead. Andrew Rados is going to be moving into the lead of the championship as well, and potentially Leila Martinez only down 10 points from Andrew Rados with a very good finishing position here tonight. Could potentially put them in P2 in the championship standings with 2 rounds left to go after this, which would be amazing. In my opinion, that would be great. Leila Martinez setting her baby shark eyes on number 19 Ford Mustang in front. That's Drew Jensen. Leila Martinez trying to get the grass type advantage, but not able to get the grip that they need, as it looks like the powerful V8 of the Ford in front is going to keep Drew Jensen ahead of Leila Martinez there. That is Brandon Ashton, the number 69 AMG, in front of the Ford here in our 3-way battle, technically, as all 3 of these cars are battling for position. We do see Agüero Martinez waiting in the wings back there, hoping for any little mistake of the drivers in front to then capitalize. Drew Jensen giving a little bit of a break, allowing the go-ahead move for Leila Martinez, moving up into P7 now. Drew Jensen moving back into P8. Moving a little bit further back, climbing the mountain, Ryan Bishop in the number 78 Ferrari, P17 for them, but fighting fiercely with Alan Romero in P16. That's them in front right there in the number 7 Porsche. Oh, that's not the camera angle. I do apologize. Oh, that's a car going off and potentially returning to garage. No, that is somebody that is unfortunately having connection issues. That is going to be a yellow flag for that sector. So it's a sector yellow flag. I believe that is the number 617, driven by Shane Sullivan, unfortunately taking a trip to the pit lane. Ryan Bishop with a great exit there compared to Alan Romero in the Porsche. The Ferrari able to get ahead and show that it is able to stay ahead, potentially, as also stomping from behind in the Aston Martin. Alan Romero trying to stick his nose in. Excuse me, not Alan Romero. That's Ryan Bishop. Ryan Bishop and Alan Romero. And who's the person in the other Aston? Is that the blue flag? That's Alex Donaldson. So Alex Donaldson in a blue flag sandwich there. I was about to say, what an incredible battle happening here. I got a little too ahead of myself there. I got a little excited. It's okay. Sometimes we get excited. We start yelling. We look at the screen. We notice that the microphone levels are going over, and we have to bring it down. apologize if you heard that. But I am addicted to Coca-Colas. Especially the ones in the glass cans, or the glass bottles. I am addicted. The only thing I love more than that is motorsport racing. Which is crazy. It's weird. Oh, Corral! We just moved over, but bonus Charles, and it looked like a Ford Mustang. Was that Ryan Shanley? Yeah, Ryan Shanley, the number 67. Both cars collecting each other at turn 10, McPhillamy Park. It looked like the Ford Mustang getting the worst of it as they were thrown into the dirt. Bonus Charles used sand attack and threw him into the dirt. Do we have an let's see if we can get a replay of that. No, that is the wrong replay, camera people. Come on. What are they doing to me? Oh my goodness. I don't know what these replay people are doing to me, but this is the wrong replay, but this is an incident. So we'll see what happens here. Hackdog going on the inside. A potential misjudgment by the number 24 there as they now become Austin Powers right under the Skyline. Right under Skyline. Because it did look like that car was moving over to slow down, and the car behind just misjudged it. So that's not the incident we were looking for, but it's an incident nonetheless. So there you go, racing fans. Moving over now to Jade Russell in the number 234 Ferrari, applying pressure to Alan Hormetto. But a cheeky move along the inside. No moves being made. We do have a car in the pit lane now. The number 67, Ryan Shanley, in the pit lane, as we do have the official pit window is... As we do have the pit lane open, since the official window is as well open. Just like every night here at Odyssey Racing League, GT America's drivers must complete one mandatory pit stop for fuel. Tires are optional. For this race, I would not recommend the tires at all. It is a wet and rainy race, so your tires probably aren't even completely warmed up. And if they are warmed up, tire degradation, once it is cool and wet, is not as crazy as it usually is. Mount Panorama usually as well high degrade or degradation for your tires, so your tires are going to start getting chewed through, especially depending on if you have a aggressive driving style. However, with the rain and the wet and the puddles, I don't think changing tires is advisable. However, what do I know? Like I said, I'm in the booth. I have an umbrella and I have a warm jacket that I don't need to stay in the rain. Alright, racing fans. I think we are now ready for our Pokemon Fun Fact of the night. a quick fun fact. The Pokemon Pidgeot, number 18 in the Pokedex, so number 18 on the Pokedex, is a flying Pokemon that flies at Mach 2 speeds. This is a bird that weighs around 87 pounds, and it flies at Mach 2 speeds. Mach 2, in case you didn't know, is 2 times faster than the speed of sound. You know, if you've ever seen videos of those of the jets, and they go really fast and they break the sound barrier and they have like that sonic boom around them. Yeah, the Pidgeot, that Pokemon, goes twice as fast. So what you're telling me is that Ash Ketchum, an 11-year-old boy, basically had an 80-pound bird that goes almost 1,000 miles an hour. So he had a weapon in the shape of a bird, and he just let it happen. Incredible. Incredible. And it's only 4'11", 4 feet 11 inches, 87 pounds, and 1,000 miles an hour. Ah, that thing's the missile. Wow, okay. And it's just flying around. And you just, yeah, all right, go ahead. That's incredible. Less than 40 minutes to go in our feature race. Andrew Rados, your race leader in the number 82 Porsche, also holding on to the Purple Crown, which means the fastest time tonight, 206.102 for the number 82 Porsche. Alex Cruz in P2 in the number 12 Mercedes AMG. P3 goes to Kyle White in the number 251 Aston Martin so far. Robert Rochester in the number 331 BMW P4. P5 is Darth Chemo, the number 727 Porsche. P6 Layla Martinez in the number 924 Kraft Mac and Cheese Aston Martin. Brandon Ash in the number 69 Mercedes AMG P7. P8 Aguero Martinez in the number 15 BMW. P9 Drew Jensen in the number 19 Ford. And to round off your top 10 in the number 26 BMW bonus Charles. That's your top 10 right now with 38 minutes left to go. Hello, Chad. Great to see you in the chat. I still can't figure out what this livery is. I've been trying to look at it for like for the last couple turns, and I I see the theme, but it just like, oh man. I just hope those are either corn dogs or hot dogs or something on the back. Osvaldo Camacho in the pit lane, trying to get that official pit stop done. Ryan Chandler, the number 67 Ford Mustang, completed their pit stop. So you can see on our screen on the left-hand side, you can see a little green square next to their car number. That means that they have completed their pit stop. If they have an orange square with a white number 1 on it, that means they need to complete one mandatory pit stop. Michael Maletta taking a big hit on the wall there as they bounce off and keep on going under the Pirelli banner through the Conrad Straight. Ferrari bumper to Ferrari bumper. Jade Russell trying to use the Go-Go Gadget extendo arm on Ryan Bishop to try to get as close as they can to get to that slipstream and get past him. However, a little bit of a squirrely exit there for the number 234 Ferrari. And it's going to keep Sebastian a little bit further ahead. The nice little cushion of about less than a second, about 0.8 seconds between these two Ferraris. I do see a Ford Mustang leaving the pits. I do believe that is the Ford Mustang of Robert Logan. Hello, Robert. With the power of God and anime on Robert's side, he is still continuing on his track. Even though he doesn't have an anime livery or a waifu livery on, which is actually disturbing that I don't see you with the waifu livery. That's strange to me. Normally I do see you with the waifu livery. That's like the norm. When you deviate from the norm, it makes me go, why? Nobody in the top 18 has decided to go into the pit lane. I guess everyone wants to stay out in the wet and the rain and have fun. Nobody wants to come inside. Guys, you need to come in. You need fuel. Get out of the rain. Some squirrely exit there for Michael Moletta in the back. But as I said a little bit earlier, Hell's Corner, even worse in the rain. Sector yellow for the top, at the top of the skyline. It's the number 6 in trouble there. The yellow flag, that's Red de Guzman. It's going to be a little bit slower there on the descent down the mountain. Phil Dixon and number 85 into the pit lane they go. Joining us in the pit lane party. Dry your shoes and you leave them at the door and you can come on inside. Looks like Drew Jensen trying to give space as they allow Bonus Charles to move on through with the go-ahead position. So that's Bonus Charles moving up into P9. Drew Jensen P10. That is Michael Moletta, though, right there in the back, trying to fight their way into the top 10. Oh, that's the wrong camera. That's the wrong camera. That's the camera we wanted. There we go. Seeing how close this Aston Martin can get. Oh. Aiding one sausage curb, trying to get around the BMW because it looks like the BMW may be trying to pit. Are they going to be going into the pit lane? No, actually, Drew Jensen is going to be the one into the pit lane. Welcome to the pit lane party, Mr. Drew Jensen. As he is going into the pits. We do also have Alex Cruz, Agüero Martinez, Darth Kemmel himself as well in the pit lane. So that's going to be a lot of these positions changing as they go into the pit, top up on fuel, and then get right back out there on the racing track. So positions are going to be swapping hands. Alex Cruz and the number 12 AMG released from the pit lane as they completed their mandatory pit stop. So that's going to be putting them in a pretty good position with the undercut. So let's see how well they assimilate back onto the racing line as we still keep an eye on our race leader, the number 2 Porsche, driven by Andrew Rado's 15-second time penalty for, that is, I believe, the success penalty from last week. I believe they are the winner from last week. Let me double check that. 100%. Yes, Andrew Rados, the winner from round 3. So given a 15-second success penalty as they dive into the pit lane as well to get rid of that pit lane or the success penalty and get that pit stop completed with. So this may be a change for, or a change of the lead. The number 251, driven by Kyle White in P2, does have a 20-second time penalty, and that is going to be a big sting to their overall finishing position. As Kyle White crosses the finish line, that does put them in the lead, so we do have a new race leader in the number 251 Aston Martin, driven by Kyle White. Andrew Rados now leaving the pit lane. Robert Rochta going in. Bonus Charles as well diving in. So your new race leader, Kyle White. Even Philip J. Fry can't believe it there on the back of Kyle's car. In the lead? What? That's crazy. Layla Martinez in the Baby Shark Mac and Cheese Aston Martin P2. P3 goes to Brandon Ash. So far, Andrew Rados back on the track, P4. And if I do spy with my little eye, all three cars in front of the number 82 Porsche still need to complete a pit stop. So this may be overall net P1 for Andrew Rados, but we're going to be keeping an eye on that because we do have less than 30 minutes left to go in the race. Michael Maletta, P5, still also needs to complete their pit stop in the number 72 Aston Martin. We do have a sideways Ford Mustang trying to do their best impression of Austin Powers as they try to regain control and put their car straight back onto the racing line, or in the correct orientation of where the racing line goes. Chat in the Chaticus the Great in the chat. Kyle White is my arch nemesis, and he's too good now. Hey man, Chad, that's what happens when you don't practice, dude. You've been missing. We've been missing you. You've been out. You've been doing your 5M or whatever that is, and you haven't been practicing. Driving in that is not the same as driving in the sim. Now, but you have pace. You just need to get back in the seat. It'll come back to you. Brandon Ash in the number 69 AMG into the pit lane. We can see him there on the right side of our screen briefly as Michael Maletta crosses the finish line, which moves them up into P4. Excuse me, P3. As both Brandon Ash and Kyle White dive into the pit lane. So your new overall leader right now, Layla Martinez. As we do see a Ferrari along the inside, trying to give them as much space as possible. Layla trying to whip the back end of this front engine Aston Martin through the mountain there. Under the 7 News banner, through Skyline, down now through the heart of the mountain. Layla goes. Through the dipper, now into Forest Elbow, trying to go wide so that you can get hard on the accelerator early so that you can get as much speed as you can get, because it is a very long straight up ahead for Layla Martinez. Big right-hander at full speed coming into the chase, hard braking zone. And then you gotta bust a left, and then you gotta bust a right, and then under the Liqui Moly banner, if they continue on with another lap, you gotta bust another left. Brandon Ash and Kyle White in a tussle in the heart of the mountain. Battles happening all up and down this mountain, if I do say so myself. I wonder what's worse, Mount Panorama in the rain or Mount Doom? Any Lord of the Rings fans, please let me know. Brandon Ash trying to make the back end of that Mercedes as wide as possible, going through Conrad Strait and into the chase, defending as much as they can, trying to keep Kyle White in the number 251 Aston Martin behind them, and trying to keep clean air in front. Out on Nick Stapleton now into the pit lane as well. The number 35 Aston Martin P5 provisionally overall. However, they're going to be losing a couple spots. A couple of drivers still need to complete their pit stop. Less than 9 minutes left to go in the official pit window. That is the number 120, driven by Bobby Evans. We do also have Michael Millett in the number 72 Aston Martin, and your race leader in the number 924 Aston Martin, driven by Leila Martinez. All three of them still need to complete their pit stop. And I do sit corrected, it's going to be two of them, as the number 120 Bobby Evans was in the pit lane, getting it done as I sit. Oh no! Brandon Ash not able to take control and unfortunately causing another incident. Multiple cars. Oh, that is... Oh no, multiple cars involved. That is the number 69, the number 26, and the number 83 all jumbled up together in a dog pile of machinery and tears. Oh my goodness. The number 69 not able to keep control of the car as they go down the mountain. Oh, what is this? That is not what I'm trying to find. Oh my god. What is it with these, replays? I do apologize. There does look like there's another incident. Maybe two cars colliding on the exit here. No, I don't know what that was. I apologize. Whoever's in charge of the replays is gonna receive a strongly worded letter from me. It's me. I'm the one that says the replays. I'm so sorry. Six minutes to go in the official pit window. Still, two cars need to complete their pit stop. Your overall race leader, Leila Martinez, the number 924 Aston Martin, needs to complete their pit stop. And Michael Millett in the number 72 Aston Martin in P3 overall also needs to complete their pit stop. So it looks like both drivers are on a overcut strategy, trying to gain as much track position and stay out as long as possible. And we'll see how it plays out for both drivers. This is not a battle for position on our screen. However, it is still exciting to always watch drivers having to navigate traffic, whether it be a car that is overlapping them, so there the blue flag is for them, or you being the car that is lapping another one, so the blue flag would be for the other driver. Is this possibly a fake move? It is not. It looks like the number 924, driven by Leila Martinez, is going into the pit lane to try to get in there, top up on fuel, and get back out on track to potentially stay in the lead. As they now roll through the pit lane, we're going to be keeping an eye on Andrew Rados, who is our potential overall leader, as they are now going through the final turn, Murray's Corner, now crossing the finish line under the Liqui that's not a banner, that's more like a bridge, I guess. And that is going to be moving Andrew Rados into the lead, as Leila Martinez is still there trying to get the required fuel. So that is going to be moving Andrew Rados into the lead, as Leila Martinez and Michael Maletta, both cars, are in the pit lane trying to get as much fuel as they can. This is going to be moving Alex Cruz, when they cross the finish line, into P2. And potential P3 for Robert Roach, as we keep an eye as well. It looks like Leila Martinez is still in the pit lane. They are out now as they are being released. We can see them released now, so it's going to potentially be a fight for P4 there, for P3 and P4 between Leila Martinez and Robert Roachta, as Michael Maletta is still in the pit lane. And now we do have a fight on our hands. On board with Robert Roachta, the number 331 BMW. It's a wet and slippery one up as we go up the mountain. A little bit of traffic there in front in the form of a Ford Mustang. So this could potentially be very beneficial to Rob here in the BMW if he's able to catch up. As it does look like Leila Martinez is going to be having a little bit of a harder time trying to keep or warm up the tires and get them up to grip and temperature as well. It's still tricky even for Robert Roachta there, as we see him struggling to keep the tires basically underneath him. As we now see them, all four of these cars tuck in for the slipstream. We're going to see who wants it more. Slowing down into the fastest part of the track. A great braking maneuver by Leila Martinez, able to get right onto the back bumper of that Ford Mustang. I do believe that is the Ford Mustang. That is the number 67. So that is Ryan Chandling giving position as well to the Aston Martin, and the BMW slipping on by, making sure that they are not going to be in a position to get in the middle of this battle. We have a fight that is getting really good here on our screens for P3. But with all pit stops complete and the official pit timer winding down, a good slipstream by Robert Roachta, getting side by side, wheel to wheel, door to door now on the inside. Leila Martinez along the outside. Robert Roachta for the next turn, now going up the mountain side by side, almost door touching and door banging. Leila Martinez able to get better grip along the inside of this turn and able to get ahead. Robert Roachta having to give up that fight, as potentially could have been disastrous. Oh, late on the brakes there. Robert Roachta had to make a evasive action to not basically eat the lunch of the Aston Martin in front of him. As we now get a nice little aerial shot going through the mountains. Hopefully see nice little elevation changes and not a lot of trees getting in the way. Get out of the way, trees. going through the S's, now through into the dipper and through Forest Elbow. Oh, it looks like Layla was able to stick out and stay ahead. With the official pit window now closed and 14 minutes left to go in round 5 of Odyssey Racing League GT Americas Season 20 to be exact. Your race leader as of right now is Andrew Rados in the number 82 Porsche, Alex Cruz in the number 12 Mercedes AMG. As we do see a Porsche, that's the Porsche I believe of Darth Kemmel potentially. No, it's not. Who was that? I'm slow confused, but Andrew Rados in P1. We did see somebody go off there. Layla Martinez, potential contact there. As they are still fighting for Robert Roach to P3. Defensive move by Robert Roach to trying to get back onto the racing line. Cutting off the nose of the number 924. Getting ahead now. Robert Roach moving up into P3. Layla Martinez P4. There is a contact flag, however. So there potentially could be contact between both those cars. And that may or may not be why Robert Roachster in the number 331 is able to get ahead. However, we did not see that on our screen, so everything I am saying here is 100% speculation. But that does move Robert Roachster into P3. Layla Martinez fighting as hard as she can to get back into P3, but P4 as of right now. Kyle White in the number 251, Aston Martin in P5. Michael Moletta P6 for the number 72, Aston Martin. Hey, remember how I said earlier how I felt like Michael Moletta and Layla Martinez, even though they're starting from the back, have potentially be podium? I got you. P7. Darth Kemo himself in the number 727 Porsche. P8 is Bonus Charles in the number 26 BMW. P9 goes to Drew Jensen in the number 19 Ford Mustang. And at P10 goes to Adonique Stapleton in the number 35 McLaren. We do have a yellow flag for the number 924. That's Layla Martinez. Is this off track for Layla Martinez? It does look like as if they were stuck to the wall a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, it might have been elbows out going through the S's and into the dipper for both Kyle White and Layla Martinez, as they were both struggling and fighting each other. As we do see a skirt of an exit there for Layla Martinez, and Michael Moletta might be smelling blood in the water, as it looks like he's going to be able to capitalize on the slipstream and potentially fight to get into P5. But speaking of P5, Kyle White right now in the number 251 McLaren Aston Martin is P4 overall. However, P1 for the amateurs or the silver-plated drivers. And Adonique Stapleton in the number 35 McLaren with the red plate. He is P10 overall. However, P1 for the rookies as of now. If the race were to end right now, that's how it would end. Andrew Rados as well, still holding on to the Purple Crown, not allowing anyone to try it on or see if it fits. 206.705 for the Porsche on our screen here, the Pepe Porsche. Sometimes racing fans, we just need to hear and see motor racing. Sometimes you don't need a broadcaster, we just need what's on our screen. As we still have an incredible battle happening on our screen between Layla Martinez and number 924, Kraft Mac and Cheese, Aston Martin, and Michael Maletta in the Baller Squad Racing, Aston Martin. Five minutes left to go in round 5 of season 20 for Odyssey Racing League's GT Americas. It is a multi-class race, technically class as in driver category. We do have rookies in the red plates, silvers or amateurs in the silver plated number plates, and pros are pros in the white plates. Still your leader, Andrew Rados on the number 82 Porsche. Also holding onto the Purple Crown as well with a death grip on it, not letting anyone get near it. 206.860 for Mr. Rados. P2, Alex Cruz in the number 12 AMG. Robert Brochta in the number 331 BMW in P3. P4, Kyle White in number 251 Aston Martin. P5, Layla Martinez in number 924 Aston Martin. And P6, number 772 Aston Martin, Michael Maletta. Still, both of these cars fighting for position. Michael Maletta able to get a better exit coming out of that turn. That is the cutting, as Layla Martinez had to go wide, so that allows Michael on the inside and able to slip on past. So Michael now into P5. Layla Martinez trying to fight back into P5, excuse me. But right now P6 as it continues to go. A quick detour through the grass, as I don't think that will deter any one of these two drivers from continuing that battle. But Darth Kemmel in P7, the number 727 Porsche, a little bit behind them. P8 goes to Bonus Charles, and the number 26 BMW so far. Not too far behind them relative to track position. So far right now as well, Drew Jensen in the number 19 Ford Mustang P9, and P10 is going to add on each Stapleton and number 35 McLaren so far. However, going back to the battle between Michael Moletta and Leila Martinez. It's a fierce battle that has not stopped on our screens. This may or may not be the final lap for our race leader, as well as I can keep an eye on the track map. They are right now going through the chase. There it turns 21, 22. Now turn 23, Murray's corner. We're going to be keeping an eye on that banner as they cross the finish line. And that is the white flag signaling us and letting us know that the leader is on the final lap. So one lap to go. If I had a giant cowbell, I'd be ringing it like crazy. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, a big incident happening in front between two cars. However, it looks like the seas parted and it allowed both Leila Martinez and Michael Moletta to pass by without any incident. I don't know if those two cars are fighting for position. They are actually. Phil Dixon in the number 85 and Red de Guzman in the number 6. Collecting each other there at the entrance of Skyline, and unfortunately causing contact that may have slowed Michael Moletta down enough to allow Leila Martinez to catch up, as Leila gives him a little bump from behind as they now go through under the Pirelli banner and coming up to the chase. Turn 20, Leila Martinez trying to get along the inside, trying to edge out as much as possible. Leila Martinez trying to get in front. Who wants it more? Michael Moletta trying to hang on in the number 72, puts two of the right-hand tires into the grass. That's going to slow him down enough for Leila Martinez with the go-ahead pass into P5. What an incredible move and an incredible pass at a great time. But that allows Michael Moletta one more lap one more lap basically, to try to take that position back. All Leila Martinez has to do is to defend for one more lap. Oh, that is interesting. Number 26, Bonus Charles, is in the pit lane. That is... what happened to Bonus? Oh, no. So Bonus Charles is going to be moving down into P14. Oh, no. I feel bad. Oh, I feel bad for Bonus. In the wise, beautiful words of Dolly Parton, sometimes to see the rainbow, you got to get through the rain. And through the rain, Andrew Rados did. Taking names and cashing checks under the Liquid Molly banner and through the finish line, taking the checkered flag in P1. Congratulations to Andrew Rados. You get a little cool shot there of you. Yeah, congratulations. I don't know what happened there, but Michael Moletta unfortunately getting squirrely on the exit, potentially contacting with Leila Martinez, but that allows Darth Kemmel to move up into P6, as well as Alex Cruz in the number 12 Mercedes AMG going through Murray's corner under the Liquid Molly banner, through the checker flag, and taking P2. Congratulations to Alex Cruz. P2, Robert Rochta with a great finish in the number 331 BMW, taking the third step of the podium. Congratulations, P3 for Robert Rochta. Kyle White in the number 251 Aston Martin. P4 overall, however, your winner for the amateurs, the silver-plated drivers. This is your winner, Kyle White. A well-fought race, a hard-fought race as well. Leila Martinez, P5 in the number 924 Aston Martin. P6 does go to Darth Chemo himself in the number 927 Porsche. P7, Michael Maletta. P8 is going to be going to Drew Jensen, I believe. Yep, Drew Jensen in the number 19 Ford Mustang. Going through Murray's corner. Crossing the finish line. And that is P8 for Drew Jensen. Adonique Stapleton in the number 35 McLaren. P9 overall, however, your winner for the rookies. Your red plate winner, Adonique Stapleton. And Sebastián Quesada in the number 21 Ferrari in P10 to round off your top 10. Ryan Bishop, P11. Agüero Martinez, P12. Alan Romero, P14. Bonus Charles, 15. Brandon Ash, P16. Robert Logan, P17. Bobby Evans, 18. Osvaldo Camacho, P19. Ryan Chanley, P20. Phil Dixon, P21. And Red De Guzman, P22. And that is it for Odyssey Racing League's 5th round of the 20th season of GT Americas. What a banger of a race, if I do say so myself. So much for joining us tonight for Odyssey Racing League's GT America's Season 20, Round 5. Your winner, Andrew Rados, in the number 82 Porsche. P2 goes to Alex Cruz in the number 12 AMG. And P3 goes to Robert Borchton in the number 331 BMW. What an incredible race tonight that we had here at Mount Panorama. It was a wet and a wild one. So I do hope that now you'll take the time to rest, relax, dry off, and have a great rest of your night. My name is Christian Julian. I also go by Koju here. And I will see you next week for round 6 of Odyssey Racing League GT Americas. Going all the way to the UK, to Brands Hatch. It's going to be a very, very small and tight circuit. So elbows are going to be thrown out right away.
Nothing moves too fast, no edges to catch. Just the hum, just the flow.